You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show podcast.
Word up.
We are back. There has been no big wrestling. So
Not
this
really, no.
I mean, some interesting stuff, which we'll probably cover in a second. But this is where we're going to return to something that we like doing before festival season. And that's doing a deep dive on a band that we either really like, know about a lot. To be honest, those tend to go hand in hand. And this one is one where, in many ways, our history is a bit linked with this band as well. Because there's been a couple of big moments. One of the few. So we're going to deep dive on Set It Off in a little bit, because it set it off. And anybody that knows the radio show, that is the reason we work together on stuff like this as well. We'll know that we love Set It Off. If you want to check out said radio show and the other bits that we do, all of the links to the things we talk about are below, and I may as well chuck a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell in nice and early, so that the more subscribers we get, the more we can do stuff like this. So.
Yes.
But first,
we're just talking to ourselves.
yes. On that note, just a normal sort of check-in. How you doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah. Work is work, and life is life.
It's just that time of year when you kind of go to work and it's dark, and you get home and it's almost dark, and it's just like, ugh.
Even though we work in like outside, I know what you mean. Is not having any of the day left for yourself rather than going for work does feel like you're somewhat being, I don't know. I got FOMO on the daylight.
Yeah, I've got some decorating I need to do at home, but I can't do it under lights. It needs to be done under daylight,
yeah.
So I can properly see. But
The
day off I got this week, I just kind of slept.
To be honest, mine was today, the day that we're recording, and I did exactly the same thing. I needed more sleep, because I'm at that age where if I can see an opportunity to get a few more hours in, then I'm like, okay, yes. I will.
I think I got up yesterday after a lengthy lie-in, went down, put the TV on, got on the sofa and had a little nap for the next 4.5 hours.
I mean,
and then wondered why I was still awake at midnight, going like, it's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the same might be the case for me today. I'm not sure if sleep's going to be coming soon, but the reason that we like to talk about this sort of stuff openly as much as we can, it's something that we've got used to doing over the years. We've had a big mental health focus for probably close to 10 years now.
I think so.
And that's led us on our radio show to work with Andy's Man Club, and also another great association that we're really proud of is we work with Safe Gigs for Women as well, so that there's safe space for anybody that's struggling mentally, or there's safe space at gigs for all peoples, because we've chatted quite a lot to the organisers of Safe Gigs for Women, and whilst it is called that, their actual main goal is that anybody, no matter how you identify or what gender you are, you're safe at a gig, and we're really in support of that. So,
unless you're at a Slayer gig, then it's up to you.
Yeah, you've got to well, to be honest, if you go into a pit, then make sure that you read the briefing first on going into a pit, because it's friendly, but you will end up bruised if you're not prepared for it. Which is why when our manager tried to go into a pit at Bloodstock, we said no, because we like our manager and we didn't want her to die. So, but
it's okay for us to go in the pit.
Well, I've
done it a number of times.
We've been pit trained.
But this year at festivals, I happened to pit accidentally.
Well, you were in quite a few crowds that suddenly it was like the land shifted beneath you.
Yeah, I was at one stage. I think I was that token guy where everyone was just running around, and I'm there with my camera up like that kind of thing.
Did you start two-stepping in the middle of the wall of death as well?
No, I was just looking around, going like, "Oh my days, this could potentially be very problematic."
Wasn't that the one where there's a guy, like a guy dressed as like a knight of the realm or something?
No, that was at Bloodstock. I was actually picturing Hatebreed at Download.
Oh, of course, yeah. But it happened to you at Bloodstock as well, where a pit seemed to, like from the footage, form around you.
Oh, and Wargasm at Slam Dunk as well. I was having a nice film for the blog, and all of a sudden, they were like, push it back, and I didn't move back. I stayed still because I had them perfectly framed in the picture. And that's just how it goes.
And in case anybody's wondering, this is why at Reading all of our footage is outside of the pit, because by the point that we got to that, none of us were going in the pit. I had to drive home after Reading, so I hate pitting and then having to drive. So, yeah, definitely not.
If you want to throw yourself into a wall, you can do that at home, can't you?
Well, exactly. There are walls everywhere, and that is, I mean, do you remember the fun times at gigs that we had where we've met the drunk people in the lobby and that guy that did the one-man mosh pit, but part of it was to throw himself into a nearby wall and take the bump. Like, he went down hard and then popped back up, and very, very entertaining dude. I never got his name.
No. On a plus note.
Yes.
You know how we are both madly addicted to cats?
Very much so, yes.
I just need to premise this as it's not actual animal cruelty, but I did like the way that the Patriots absolutely slaughtered the Panthers yesterday. 42-13 on the final whistle, and we dominated.
Yeah, that's the only slaughtering of Panthers that we're even slightly going to agree with.
Yes, it's a big cat, they can fight back. If it was one of our cats, no way, but
no.
Patriots.
Yeah, and as he said, definitely just a football team. We want Panthers in general.
No, they are more than just a football team. Oh, the Patriots are, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Panthers.
Yeah. It's a bit like, the Jaguars. I was against them.
Yes. Yeah.
Fully no NFL me, like completely switched on board.
I'm going to read the book before the season starts, which I gave you at the end of last season, so you've had 5 or 6 months.
Yeah. No, I still
What's the book called?
Oh, I nearly could call that out of my head.
Come on.
Home run?
No, that's baseball. What do they play on?
A football pitch.
No. It's the gridiron.
No, I wouldn't. I'm glad you put everybody else out of their misery, because I wouldn't have got that.
The cover's even in the Patriots' colours as well.
I know. I don't even know where the book is. It's on my to-do list.
Perhaps we should swap it out. No, we can't swap it out for Aussie, but maybe move Aussie slightly higher, closer to heaven.
Well, unless he actually, because don't forget he's Prince of Darkness, possibly now King of Darkness. So you never know. He could be the bridge between the two.
More like the patron saint now, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Either way, I miss him. Yeah.
It's
weird. It's weird. Yeah, it's one of those things that you kind of come round, like you go back to thinking normally for like a little while, and then suddenly something reminds you that things have changed a lot. And it's like, oh, that's why.
That's 2025 in a nutshell. Things have changed a lot.
And it hits you quite a lot over repeated times.
Right in the choppers.
Yeah. So,
should we deep dive?
I think we should deep dive.
Not just paddling, but like full off the springboard into the deep end.
So we mentioned earlier that Set It Off have quite a bit of history, or our history is linked to Set It Off, and we have some history with them as well, all positive.
Well, they're a very positive band every time we meet them. I think it's the Florida vibe, coming from Tampa. It's just like
they're
sunshine
states
states.
in the best possible way. But interestingly enough, it links to another band that we've loved, watched so much of, but never actually met.
Bring me the horizon.
No, it's Our Last Night. When they first started their covers years and years ago, they did an NSYNC cover of Bye Bye Bye.
They did, I think.
And the guest vocalist was Cody Carson.
Who's the vocalist of Set It Off.
There we go. And now, as far as I understand, this is all part of because we didn't get into Set It Off of their early fame, which was from Cody's YouTube channel, because it's Cody. Like, if you know Set It Off, vocal dominance is one of the ways that you could describe his vocal style, even though it's not for everybody being quite pop punk, Disney, rock-esque.
It's very, I'd definitely say it's got a pop tinge to it.
But he, like a lot of people, he is impressively good. Like, we've watched him do acoustic stuff, we've watched him do vocal classes with people, And he's just always been very impressive, and that's why the YouTube channel gained a lot of popularity in the early days.
Bit like Alex Terrible. He started off as a cover artist, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it.
We were saying on another podcast, we remember the first time that we discovered Alex Terrible. This was the first time.
He was doing a cover of Bye 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 as well.
He probably has. He probably has, to be fair. There's so many. But I remember saying to you, like, we had a Crown the Empire interview booked at the Fleece. You didn't join me for this one.
No, I wasn't there, was I?
No, not for this particular gig. So I got the member of Crown the Empire that's no longer in Crown the Empire, and it hasn't been for a while. But the other one...
Must be a good 10 years ago then.
Yeah, no, because they've been their lineup for ages now. But we said, may as well set it off, because I knew who he was, like from our last night, and I was like, I can go and chat to him. And this is one reason that we say our history's there, is if you go and watch that particular interview, which I believe I may have delisted from our YouTube channel, one of the reasons being is you can see the notepad in my hand from the very early days of doing interviews, where we would have questions written out, like often we'd write them in the car, get embarrassed by Wikipedia facts that weren't true because we relied on them to bring them up in interviews. And this was like only at the start of this year, it's like January of 2015, I did this interview with him. And like I say, still got the notepad. And we've done it on another podcast, so I'm not going to do the full story, but there were reasons why I set it off for having a bit of an interesting week leading into Slam Dunk 2015.
Yeah, because they were over here touring, and they had to kick a band member out, and that's all.
That's all we want to say.
That's all we need to say about it. So I think they were just obviously had the commitments of the tour and doing Slam Dunk, because that was when it was 3 days.
Yeah, and we were on their third day, and
yeah, it was the final day, and they were literally just about to go back home and
they were also
decompress from what's happened in Europe.
Not only that, but they were on the Duality promotion tour, their second album. Mm-hmm. So they were still trying to get through all the interviews, but we got the usual, and we completely respect this. Is often we get told you can't talk about this, and that was in line with the way that we like to do interviews anyway. We do not like being controversial. That's not the style of our show. But I was panicking because we had done that recent interview, and it was only like, because Slam Dunk's always spring, it was only like a couple of months later.
Yeah.
And like the whole time I was saying to Mike in between interviews, I'm like, I'm just really panicked. I don't know what to do. And he was like, well, you've had a couple of moments in the couple of years that we've been interviewers together. He's like, where, things go left at the traffic lights and you're actually just quite good thinking on your feet. How about you don't plan anything and you just let them set the tone of the interview with you, so that...
Wing it.
Yeah. But professionally wing it, because a couple of years in, we knew what standard questions that you could rely on, and that is kind of part of the interview game is talking about recent stuff. So, I could talk about duality and stuff like that. And then we realised that I was the last interview of the third day. So they had done something like 25 interviews.
Final interview of the entire tour, and they were spent. You could see, if you flash up some of the footage or something, you can see in their eyes, they're kind of like, can we just go home? We've had a really rough time in Europe. Let's get this out of the way, get in the van and go back to Florida.
And suddenly this weirdo right here decides, I'm just going to jump into the interview. Had no plans, and it ended up being the best interview at that point in my career that I had ever done. Like, we danced around, we sang, we invited Corey Taylor to come join an a cappella vocal act, because their album was called Duality. Slipknot has Duality, the track.
Yeah.
And then there's some...
He still hasn't got back to them, I don't think.
No. But
Corey.
Probably should, because it would be amazing to have Cody and Corey do a song together. That would be...
Oh, they've had quite a few guests on their albums over the years as well.
Exactly.
Set it off.
So that then got us talking, because that was Slam Dunk that we drove home from as well. So the whole way
Wolverhampton.
back... and it was Wolverhampton, so that was a long drive for us.
And it was out, some of the sets, or stages, were out actually in the streets. Like one stage where we saw, was it Architects and...
Sleeps.
While she sleeps, next to Holland and Barrett.
And Sleep started climbing the actual trees that were nearby their stage, and it's...
Wasn't there like a Sainsbury's or a supermarket like higher up, and people were just trying to like hang over the side of...
Oh yeah, no, security had their work cut out for them at this festival. But yeah...
Probably why they didn't do it after that and just moved it.
And we're not going to mention any names, but we were in a press area that was about 3 stories up, looking down on the DJ booth. If you remember.
Yes.
And then you were, because Mike has a long history of being a house DJ for our nearby university, going out on tour with a couple of peeps. Actually had quite an illustrious career before he started being a radio presenter.
I did, yes.
So you were just quite interested.
This isn't a deep dive on me though.
No.
We'll save that.
But you were quite interested to see what the DJ was doing and his tactics. And he came back over absolutely pissing himself laughing, and I was like, what's going on? He's like, I've just watched the last DJ for about 20 minutes. I was like, right. He's like, all he's done, if the DJ desk was here about this high above, is he's just doing that,
making it look like he's doing tricks. Which is what all the big DJs do now. They just press play and then make it look like they're doing that because everything's synced up to lighting and screens and stuff. But yeah, this guy was just
very, very... And
he was giving it his beans and giving it all to the half dozen people that were jumping around at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, and we went outside, looked at the DJ desk, and it genuinely still looked like he was performing. So no
tricks of the trade.
Yeah, no telling who that was. Don't even know if they're still DJing, but it was very funny.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so definitely not mentioning their name then.
They're a lot bigger now.
So that was for us, and the reason we say quite history making is we both decided from that point to put down the notepad in interviews, but that would still go wrong quite a lot. So it did lead to a couple of years, because we used to be live FM radio presenters.
That was the fun bit.
Yeah, and so we deliberately would put each other off every week to make the other one get better at being able to think even when somebody's trying their best to throw you off your game. And it worked. Like a couple of years of us just winding the hell into each other whilst we presented.
Well, you had the habit of just not turning up until, it's a three-track intro to the radio show, which takes you to sort of like 10 minutes into going live, and Dan would literally just burst through the door, sit down as I'm pulling the crossfader up for the very first link. Hi, welcome to the Mike James Rock Show. I'm Mike. I'm Dan.
I sounded excited.
Yeah, no. But then quite often, as soon as we'd done the last link, you'd bolt it as well, and I'd have to go and do the pack down.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Good days. I mean, it was partly because we did it at 10 o'clock at night till midnight, like the slot. And I'm so glad that we decided when the pandemic shut down our station, we were going to revise the way that we did things and claw back our Friday night.
Like Set It Off, we went DIY.
We did.
But that's jumping ahead a bit, because they've had a few albums out since then.
Well, to me, my favourite is still going to be the one that I've already mentioned, being Duality. Me and you have done quite a few car trips to that. That was the one which they were still... I think they did the deluxe version tour when we did the social media takeover. Because we can't work out with us...
Yeah, they were on tour as main support to... He came back last year. Mikey's the lead singer.
Mallory Knox?
That's the band that they were supporting at the Lemon Grove in Exeter.
Yes.
About 2016, I think that was.
Either late 2015 or 2016. It wasn't long after this fun interview. And it was our first ever takeover, because we hadn't done the other ones at this point, like cancer bats and stuff like that.
Yeah. We took them to the local riverside to feed the pigeons.
We took them down to the quay. We played Jenga in the pub first.
Yeah, they wanted an authentic British sort of ploughman's lunch, and we
obliged. Yeah.
And then we went and fed the swans and the pigeons and bought bird food. And
one of them had the bird on his arm.
Yeah. And then we went up and they did a record signing in.
And the acoustic performance.
I was going to say that afterwards. I was doing it in chronological order.
Yeah, chronological?
Yeah.
Not chronological.
Same thing. Tomato. So yeah, they did the signing. Then we took them up to the venue where Cody did a vocal sort of coaching class type thing. Then they did sound check. Then they played.
Yeah.
And we were with them all day long. It was great fun.
They regretted, because at this point we were very in our heyday of partying and drinking a lot. So I think they either regretted or had a really good time partying with us, because I think we did a couple of rounds of Jaeger bombs before they went on stage. It's definitely because one of them, another member that didn't leave under the controversial
circumstances. In that case, the timeline's weird, because I've been sober for 10 years.
Yeah. But it didn't stop you necessarily still making sure that other people did.
That's true.
You were very quiet about your sobriety because you didn't want people to think that they couldn't do it around you. I remember, because I was still drinking at that stage, and you still came out for pretty much most of the nights out until I stopped. Even though
That's quite true.
Yeah, so it was probably me still drinking, because I went on for a good couple of years after Mike. But yeah, we did made them do Jaeger bombs just before going on stage. And then they laughed afterwards that it was probably the most high energy but most anxious performance that they've ever had, because energy drink, alcohol, the nerves of stage. But yeah, super good fun. Love that takeover.
Yeah, it was good. And then obviously the following year they brought out Upside Down.
Yep.
And then Midnight came out just before the pandemic, so it was a little bit kind of, here's our new album.
Yeah.
Just listen to it. Elsewhere came out just after the pandemic.
I think I might have done there was talks of a Zoomer interview with Cody, but we didn't put any of those Zoomers from the pandemic on our YouTube channel.
No.
So I think there might have been something where we chatted online.
And then they just dropped their self-titled, I believe, haven't they?
No, they're talking about the drop at the moment,
okay.
As far as I'm aware. I think that Elsewhere is still their last full release. I think we're in the promo run currently for the self-titled.
Oh, okay.
Either that,
I
or
thought
it's
that's
just
what we talked about Slam Dunk last year.
Was
it because they've moved to being DIY, they're self-produced,
I think they were just
self-managed.
moving towards it because I'm relying somewhat on Spotify, and I can tell that the manager is already double-checking my information on albums, if she can remember.
I thought that the last run they did when they played Slam Dunk last year was their breakout as their
November 2025.
So
they also have a self-titled album released in November 2020.
Yeah, so somewhere between both of our thoughts.
So it's imminent then. So it's good timing to do this then.
Yeah.
You can probably pre-save it.
At this point, they have done a couple of singles, but no, I think the reason that you remember so much is because Elsewhere was the neon era, where you always had green hair and stuff like that. And then we chatted to them when they changed their aesthetic for this album release.
I get it now.
And they started the era with the style change, because they went, and that was one that I did at Slam Dunk, where We're Laughing Away, and he's basically dressed like a metalhead rather than a pop punk sort of Disney character. But
except for Max, well, both of them, but Max had got really hench. And
we do need to chuck some love on his name for... basically, Max decided that he needed a challenge beyond what they were already doing. He was
setting up a DIY band and your own label and producing and all that is not challenging enough. Max.
Well, apparently it made him want to fix things that weren't broke. Is what he said to me last time I was chatting to him about it. He's like, I just had so much energy that I needed to do. He's like, I kept trying to get us out on tour when we were in the studio. I just couldn't sit still.
He's a drummer, what do you expect?
But he also said he didn't want to work for anybody else. So what's a drummer to do when you don't want to drum for anybody else and start doing that double duty and all of that sort of stuff?
But he did, didn't he? Because we saw him...
No, he did that as a favour for one tour rather than going out.
He subbed in, didn't he?
Because that's where we did a crossover interview where it's basically an interview with just him at Slam Dunk. And I believe it's the Slam Dunk where it was just after the Panny D.
Yeah, so that would have been 22.
And it was As It Is? Was it As It Is?
I think so.
I think it was As It Is, and he had stepped into drum for them, but we weirdly had an interview with him rather than As It Is, so it kind of was...
A bit of both.
Yeah. He decided that he was going to go become an indie wrestler and see where the career took him. He's got, by the way, I'm going to put the link below, absolutely sick merch. It's very much in the style, I'd say, of Set It Off's general sort of stuff, but him as a wrestler, and promos are just getting better and better. Obviously, we talk a lot about wrestling, so we had a vested interest to see what Max was like doing this, and it's really fun watching him wrestle on the indie circuit.
What's his wrestling name?
Matt Danziger. Like that's
okay.
Yeah, it's so easy to find him because he's just wrestling under his own name currently.
Does he appear if you say his name?
It's not Joe Hendry's territory yet, but
Yeah.
if he makes it, say he makes it to the WWE and he's still allowed to keep a set off track as his theme, because we want Max Danziger in the WWE, that would be amazing. But can you imagine what a cool thing it would be at somewhere like Mania, where he plays his own intro with his own band to then get up and wrestle once the intro's done? That would be cool, right? Like, I can't be the only one that's thinking that, because I think Jericho said similar or has done similar. Call me out in the comments because I'm not sure, because of being in Fozzy.
Yeah.
So he's either come out with the band and done his own entrance music because Judas became his entrance.
I think so.
Or he said he wanted to and it just never lined up. Got to be honest, it's probably something that happened in AEW, and I hold my hands up and say I don't pay attention to everything that happens in AEW, but I actually quite like the Attitude Era Wrestling, which is what I think AEW stands for. I actually quite like that because it's a throwback to the wrestling I watched in the 90s. And they are batshit crazy on that.
Too much blood for me.
Yeah.
It's like the Temu version of UFC, isn't it?
Well, it's what happens if UFC and WWE had a baby. And the blending
soft
of
corners on things.
but I also will be completely honest. I watch AEW via the means of social media, like reels and clips. Like I like watching the entire WWE broadcasting, but AEW's the other one. But we digress, because one of the other things that we wanted to talk about is the fact that they should be coming back on the next tour.
I'd imagine so.
And we need to talk to them again. But is this going to be one of the times that you wrestle the microphone out of my hands and actually sit down and set it off, possibly for the first time ever? Because I think that'd be quite a fun interview to watch, is because they know him incredibly well. Like, it's always me and Max or me and Cody on camera, but they love Mike. Like, they absolutely love Mike. And I would love to see what actually came off of you doing a one-to-one with Cody or with Max, because they're so used to my style, and then seeing whether or not...
I'll just do it very stoic. And
that would be absolutely, like, you do a proper Metalheads interview and like... Yeah, no, that would be brilliant.
So, where did you get the name from? What's your favourite cheese?
Can you endorse our YouTube channel with your popular one, please?
I was thinking earlier, like, I've been playing like their greatest hits.
Oh yeah.
For the most of the day today.
Just get yourself hyped for this.
Well, yeah. Looking at, like, if you just go on song titles and like the themes and stuff, I think that the heavier side of them would be perfect to support Ice Nine Kills.
Ooh, that would be an interesting.
Because they've got like skeletons
grab.
And there's all nightmare type songs, and it'd be a good fit song wise, and I think it would be a good crossover between the two bands.
And did you see the crossover between our two interests, where unfortunately Rhea Ripley did not survive being on stage with Ice Nine Kills?
No,
she got
the clown killed her.
Yeah, got murderized. So that's not the first time that we've been around somebody that's had to go through that process with Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, our friend Penny, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who, she got absolutely slashed up.
Yep.
By Ice Nine Kills on stage at Download.
There we go.
We won't tell you what she was dressed as, but you can probably go back and see it.
Yeah, exactly, but we actually knew the person that was doing it, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Props
no.
to Penny. Well done. You survived.
I mean, what would be quite funny is if they, decided to put, somebody with Max on stage in the tour, like the Dream Tour that you're talking about, where we get like some wrestling moves before the clown then kills Max. That could work. Basically just setting up a tour for you guys in the future, which really works for us, and that's clearly, based on internet comments, how most people try and evaluate
I just thought
tours.
musically they go quite well, and like also they kind of almost sound like a poppier version of Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Fans of that, or the very lighter side of Falling in Reverse. without the electronics.
See,
Although there
this
is some electronics in Set It Off.
Yeah, no, but the thing is with Set It Off, they also could go out easily on tour with Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah, or
Like
they're
they've-
used, or
Yeah,
you know,
they've got
those
that,
kind of post-emo-y.
Because they're not
Type
quite
bands.
emo or pop punk, or as they even admit themselves, Disney.
Oh, they're very Disney.
Very Disney, but I've seen weirder blends on tour where people love it, and I'm sure that you've seen the same thing that we have with Cody. Is a lot of people don't. If they're like for Mallory Knox, they were the support act, and Cody is one of those vocalists, and this isn't the same for every vocalist, that can win people over by being charming in between the songs, and then having also such a dominating vocal ability that even like I've watched haters start like tapping a foot, you know, bobbing a head, and do you know?
Because they've got they're very melodic riffs. We haven't mentioned him yet, but Zach, the guitarist,
Love Zach as well. Lovely guy.
He's got some riffs that fall out of his guitar.
Yeah, and they're also they all know what their fan base is like, and like they're very communicative. It's very community. The fans will probably say, well, you haven't mentioned anything much about their eras and what they mean, but that's not how we know them. We know them from the press side of things and chatting to them.
Yeah, we just know them as a bunch of dudes that like to act silly with us.
But do you know who Cody reminds me of that ability to convert people live, even if they don't like him to begin with?
Ronnie Radke.
No, no, he has an ability to annoy his own fans, from what I can tell. The 100. Jacob.
Yes.
That time, so we love this band that's not been around for years, but the vocalist used to deliberately, like, he turned up in peach clothing with a Hawaiian shirt years before that became popular at Bloodstock. We've watched him, and the time I remember him really converting a crowd was they were opening for Papa Roach on tour. We saw them Bristol, and he knew that the crowd weren't there to see him and that they weren't necessarily that interested in this weird London grime, screamy, dancey thing. But the amount of people that around us started laughing by about 2 or 3 songs at the silly stuff he would say in between.
I think they were also laughing at you because you got down and did a whole bunch of press-ups and squats because
I was challenged. I was challenged in the interview that I wouldn't do press-ups in the pit, and this was at an age where I was more than willing for the damage if it went wrong. But fortunately, people just realised what I was doing for a laugh and just gave me a bit of room. Silliness.
The thing is, artists challenge Dan and he'll accept.
I'm less likely these days, but no, I do find it difficult to turn down a dare because I find them quite fun.
Dare
still.
you to sleep until midday? Yes.
Done. Done. So on to, we've got another From the Vault this week, a bit different to the last couple. We're trying to keep it varied and interesting. But we said it before, we are a radio show at heart. We became podcasters because, one, it's where
technology moves that way.
For one. Two, we also realised that we have such limited time to talk because we're the type of radio show that wants to put most of our airtime towards the bands that we're supporting.
New music every week.
And when we made that big change and took a lot of our talking away, we was like, well, we have to do a podcast because we got too much to talk about, having been a radio show for over 18 years. So you can find the links to the Mike James Rock Show actual radio show below. That's still us. Like I said, it's 2 hours a week. Combine those numbers badly. 2 hours a week of new music, bit of banter. Often at this point in the year, it's an interview from Mike done on Zoom. And we have the features where we support Safe Gig Swim, that's a cover song. Positive Mental Health tracks with Andy's Man Club. And we also have a track of the week currently in association with EMP.
And they all have playlists on Spotify. So just search Mike James Rock Show, same as on social media.
Yep.
Mike James Rock Show on YouTube, as you're watching probably, or on Spotify.
One of the two.
Yeah, just come and get involved.
Let us know comments.
We're building a community.
Yeah. And it's partly based on things that we've been told by people before is we don't do this because we're paid or made to spend this much time with each other. Genuinely has been my best friend for about 25 years now, which is quite scary.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across a couple of jobs before we even ever did a radio show thing. When I first knew him, he would be...
I had hair.
He had hair, and you would be processing like admin stuff through bleary eyes because you had been awake till 5 o'clock in the morning, got 30 seconds sleep, and just decided to come to work after DJing all night. And that's how I originally met him. So.
Why does Mike look so strung out? It's like, because he was DJing last night.
Yeah.
You can't just finish a gig at like 2 a.m. and go home and go straight to sleep.
No, you gotta.
Even if you do get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's like, sleep when you're dead or when you're in your 40s.
And to be fair, I wasn't DJing, I just maintained those hours for funsies. So it's why we always got on in the first place, because we'd say hello to each other, make sure that the relevant supplies on the desk were there. Mine was always coffee. Yours probably like some snackies at that point, maybe an energy drink. And then the headphones would go in, and we would only talk to each other to recommend something heavy and brutal to get through the day.
A little pick-me-up.
Yeah, and then we realised that was enough reason to start hanging outside of work, which we did. So you never know. Like, talk to the guy next to you at your office job. You may end up presenting a podcast 25 years later.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So we wrapped it up on Set It Off.
I think we're done.
We can set them off.
But let us know in the comments all the things that we should have talked about, because we'd happily do a part 2 based on comments and information that you guys have on Set It Off and what you would want to see discussed. You can ask us to chat to Cody, Max, and check the name, Zach. Thank you. Mostly because I talked to the other two. You can let us know any questions that you have for the tour that we're going to try and touch base with them on, about self-titled, about elsewhere, about changing eras, anything. Just let us know in the comments.
I wonder if they're going to do an eras tour. I know that's been done before.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So before we go, I'm just going to do one last point to the like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Bing!
And we'll see you later this week for a From the Vault about a band that took like 20 years to leave America.